Mrs. Daya, daughter of our friend, good friend, Mr. Raghunathan and Mrs. Yamla, wants to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. VK. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture. I am truly honored, and I want to express the deepest thanks and the gratitude of our family, especially my mother, Mrs. Shamala, to the Sanskrit College for the wonderful lectures that they have had every year since my parents instituted the endowments for my grandfather and my great-grandfather, and to have the pleasure of listening to such a wonderful lecture. So, and thank you to all the management and the staff and the research students at Sanskrit College for their untiring support to get my father's book published. And we really hope and pray that Sanskrit College can continue on their mission for the next many, many decades. Thank you.
A relishable lecture. We enjoyed it. As I was talking to him this evening, we were telling that Anubhava is very important. The years of experience teach us in understanding our own selves better, and our country better, and our literature better, and all our systems better. So that has made him give a lecture today, and that has also put us to think about what it had been in the earlier days. Here in the institute, we had prepared a thesis on women legal rights. We had read in Kaschit Sarga, no, not Kaschit Sarga, when Bharata says to Kausalya or Rama, I do not know, if I wish to get the throne for myself, let me go into this, let me get the result of this papa, like that. He will list out the papas. One of them is Bruna Hatti. Bruna Hatti is feticide. I was astounded when I read that first time that was possible even in those days. But as he said, in those days or today, everybody is a human being. And human beings do succumb to things. And circumstances make them do certain things. And because of that, we need law and other things. So on the one side, we have such information as that. On the other side, we have very interesting information, law, legal issues connected with ethics. I'll just narrate one story of Nabha Nedishta. Nabha Nedishta is the third son of a father, a rishi. He had been sent to learn. The other two boys had been agriculturists. The father, before Nabha Nedishta completed his studies and came back, the father divided his property and gave the properties to the other two boys. Nabha Nedishta came back and said, "What is this? Don't I get a share for myself?" He said, I have educated you. The other two are not educated. You are educated, and with your education you can do anything. And he said, there is a yaga going on. And in that yaga there is a small problem. The yaga was completed without the permission of the deity which was guarding the main items for the yaga. Unless the deity gives permission, they cannot close the yaga. But they have completed. But the deity says, I cannot give all these things back to you. So they want an expert who can solve this problem. You go and solve it. Nabha Nedishta knew the answer for this. He went and solved the problem. He got remuneration for that, or rather you may say honorarium for that. Then the father said, you have your share of property here. That was the ethics joined with legal issue. The legal issue was why there was no property. The answer was you have education. So when there is education, you are given much more than what the others have got. And you can earn for yourself. He became really rich in this. The story goes on like that. So the ethic was the main principle behind the legal issues. And I would like Professor Dr. CLR to give one more lecture on this ethical issue. Because there is another, again I am reminded of one inscriptional evidence which says when two people were shouting nearby houses, one lady was shouting at the other, she threw something and that hit the child of the other person, that child passed away. Now it is not murder, it was done without any idea, not even knowing that the child was there. What was the punishment? The king gave the punishment that this person should take care of the children of the other persons, bring them up and then give them education and everything, and for every day she should go and light the lamp at the temple, praying for the welfare of all the children. The ethical principle was behind it more than the legal principle. There were such instances in our society in those days, which are shown in the inscriptions, which are very, very beautiful instances. So we also should know the ethical principles. There is recently one judge gave such punishment to Roja. The actress Roja, when she made some mistake, she was asked to go and serve in I think it was another illetliyo poi varnal and the kolandailoda irkano. So that was the punishment. So we have such instances. So social service, that is very, very important, more than punishing. As he said, the dharma should be established. None of them should be harmed by the law of the society. The person who killed was not aware of the action, she didn't even intend about it. She would not have done it in her good senses. It was just an action of anger that has resulted in that. So the law was very, very careful not to affect anybody, not to affect the family system, not to affect the children. The children will be later on will be called as children of the murderer. அந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் இல்லாம ஒரு law. So இந்த மாதிரி instances we would like to have the ethical principles behind all these laws, ancient and modern. We would like to have another lecture on this, and I thank, whom should I thank? Mr. Raghunathan, our good friend, and Mrs. Shyamla, and Daya here, and her brother, for having made this lecture, rather adhering to this lecture, very fine lecture. It was made possible because of Mr. Raghunathan. And at this juncture, I would like Daya to go back and tell her mother whether she would be able to create a chair in Mr. Raghunathan's name for legal studies. Today I was talking to him, I told I would like to such a thing to happen, and I have also given him one job also to defend Manu. So I asked him to write a book on in defense of Manu. If he can do it, that will be very good. So let us hope for the defense of Manu of the future date. And I thank every one of you who come down here to listen to this lecture. As a mark of our respect, we offer him our publications. We should have offered him Rahasyatraya Sara, but we will be giving it to him later when it comes out of the press. Now I am giving him Paduka Sahasra of Vedanta Jeshika and Chaturyuga calendar of Vaivasvata Manvantara, research work done by our one of the professors here. And by that calendar, Rama was in the 24th Chaturyuga, Treta of the 24th Chaturyuga. That makes him as old as 20,000 years ago, more than that even. So if it is so, our history should be established by this. So we are hoping that we would be able to break ice with our own Indian history through such studies. Thank you all.